paradise was they needed to destroy the economy to take it down first, and then they could rebuild it. You see that over and over again. That is always talked about. They even put that in the Captain America movie, that you have to destroy the country before you can rebuild it. Well, the way they wanted to destroy the country was to overload the entitlement system, the welfare system. And that's what we're seeing right now. That's what this is all about.
That whole system is going to implode on itself, and the very people that are going to be getting those freebies are going to become slaves to that system, in my opinion, and they're just going to do whatever they're told. And to a free-thinking individual, I mean, this is like textbook 1984. Wars aren't meant to be won; they're just meant to be continued. And it's global. It's in every country. And I think if we all just took back, I mean, the information is right there in front of us. It's all over the place. And the average person, I call them veg heads, because they haven't got a clue, because they just like their stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Joe. Let's go to Carl in Texas. Carl.
Hi, David. Thanks for having me on. I couldn't agree more. It's definitely a calculated takedown, going by stealth. In the past few years, I've taken some steps to kind of counter it, so using similar tactics in terms of stealth. A lot of the times when I engage people talking about these issues, immigration, and a lot of the other things, the gun confiscation, I use the term thought exercise, because I'm trying to engage what's left of people's critical sense and kind of make it as to if it's their idea, and give them, like, you know, the hypothetical, and then bring it into reality for them. Or at least try to, you know, give them a little bit of fuel for the fires that I'm trying to start in their minds.
So what do you think, Carl, about this situation of Obama going down to Honduras, and he's going to essentially identify children that he wants to bring back in the United States and then ship them back in so they don't have to make the dangerous journey? What about the danger to our children when we bring in people, allow MS-13 gang members to come through the border, when we allow this violent drug war that we've created, actually? We created this in Central and South America with our war on drugs, and now we're bringing that violence into our country because we're allowing the borders to be wide open and bring in let these gang members come in and even give them special benefits. Of course, these MS-13 minors who are under a certain age, they're going to be able to go to any university that they want to, anywhere in the country, get in-state tuition or a full free ride. That'll be a great place for them to start their drug war, start a new turf war with existing drugs. They can go into the universities, and they're going to, as students, have access to other students to sell them drugs.
Yeah, it's a, you know, who's he? Is he president of Honduras? Is he president of Central America? I mean, it just is, it's like I said, it's too much of an overload to be coincidence. It's, you know, it would be one thing if you could trust these people to be doing things out of the kindness of the heart. They're not. It's a carefully orchestrated plan. It's been going on for a long time now. And, I mean, you know, we're all aware of it, but they've been sneaking things in, you know, with like boiling the frog, the analogy with that, going by stealth. I'm trying right now, actually, to at least counter them culturally. I've been brushing up on my Spanish, and I'm trying to engage a lot of people that are here, a lot of people that have been coming here, and trying to at least to bring them around to you know, the classic Americana and the reasons why we have, you know, what's left of our stability.
Well, that's great. That's what we need to do. But see, when they bring in children so that they get a first crack at them for a number of years before they turn them out, when they bring in children who don't speak English, it makes it all that more difficult for us to have an impact on them. And that's by design. That's why they want to do it that way. That's why they're funding these programs to put robots in homes, because they don't want you, even at home, having any influence on your children. Thank you so much, Carl. Let's go to Lance in Washington. Lance.
Yes, it was an honor to speak with you. Thanks for taking my call.
Oh, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
I wanted to reiterate how important it is to do it from the grassroots. I carry open up here in Washington State, and my neighbors and I have gotten 2 drug houses shut down through the city, and one house that was a old coach's house on a property of the school board. We got it bulldozed, and it only took like 3 months from the get-go of starting it up. So you go to city council meetings, Get to know your neighbors.
That's a good point. I think that is really the key. We cannot count on our elected representatives to stand up for us. They've shown over and over again that they will not do that. We can't elect somebody as president. That's going to solve the problems. We have to take responsibility, just like you're saying, Lance. So we have to do that at home in our community. If we will stand up and do that, that's when it'll get done. If we take our notice of jury trial and we go there as an informed juror and we stand up for the rights of our fellow citizen, that's going to be far more effective to nullify bad laws than it is going to be to try to get anyone elected. We see over and over again how spineless they are. We just had a case. This is Representative Ryan, who went before the Federal Election Commission, asked for permission to promote his political book as a fundraiser, and essentially changed what was a fundamental free speech right into a government-granted privilege with restrictions. And we're going to talk about that coming up after the break. Thank you so much, Lance in Washington. We're going to be right back with your calls and more news. Stay with us. Paul Craig Roberts at the top of the hour.
Get the most important package of information you'll ever receive in your life for only $10. The package includes 3 books and 7 DVD programs which cover biblical miracles and prophecy. The Shroud of Turin, The Third Secret of Fatima, What Really Happened to the Catholic Church, and more. Call 800-513-0029. That's 800-513-0029. Or go to VaticanCatholic.com. That's VaticanCatholic.com. 800-513-0029. VaticanCatholic.com.
Teenagers like me used to think our parents were just weird because they put their phones and computers inside those flimsy little fake leather cases. Then my folks both got a Block-It Pocket. Mom knows it keeps her safe from the phone's radiation. Dad knows it keeps his information private. I like my Block-It Pocket because it blocks hacking and tracking. Awesome! BlockItPocket.com has other cool stuff too. Guess my parents aren't so weird. Get your Block-It Pocket at BlockItPocket.com.
Hi folks, Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his 2-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
Clean water at home, clean water at the office, clean water on the go. The Berkey Guy has a Berkey water filtration model for anywhere you are and one that fits any budget. Thousands of satisfied customers can't be wrong. For free shipping within the U.S., go to goberkey.com or call 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Helping thousands prepare since 2005, goberkey.com.
That's the sound of your door being kicked in by an intruder with a single kick. Criminals know that your wooden door frames are weak and your alarm system can't keep them out. That's the sound of the same door now protected by the Door Sentinel. Standard locks, deadbolts, and alarm systems can't prevent forced entry. Harden your door and door jamb with a Door Sentinel. Protect your home now at MySafeDoor.com. Go to MySafeDoor.com for a special limited time offer. The Door Sentinel, your home's first line of defense.
He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and racing.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight. We're taking your calls this segment. In the next hour, we're going to be talking to Paul Craig Roberts, economist, author, and he's got a lot to say about what's going on in the Ukraine. Right now, in the last segment, we talked to someone, Lance of Washington. He was talking about how he was taking control, changing things at a local level. That's really where it's going to happen. Of course, we've heard it many times, think globally, act locally. That's the people who are trying to set up a global regime. We need to, if we want to think about liberty, we need to act locally, not try to create a new world order by acting locally, but let's try to create a climate of freedom. One of the ways we do that, of course, one of the most powerful things we can do is inform ourselves and others about our rights and duties as jurors. We have to understand that we're there not just to judge the facts of the case, but to judge the law as well. That's one of the most effective ways that we can shut down this tyranny. One of the things that illustrates why we can't depend on our elected representatives, I think, is what happened with the FEC this week. Now, we had Congressman Paul Ryan, one of the leaders of the GOP, who wrote a book. This is part of his reelection campaign. That's what politicians do. They write these little boilerplate books and they sell them, or they have people buy them, and that's the way they pass money into their campaign. He wanted to buy his own books and hand them out to supporters. Fine. They've been doing this all along. He decided, though, that he was going to ask permission from the FEC to exercise his First Amendment rights. And of course, the FEC is the Federal Elections Commission. And so back on July the 3rd, he asked them for an advisory opinion. Well, they got the opinion this week. And one of the commissioners is very upset. That's Chairman Lee Goodman, a Republican, said that by failing to affirm his constitutional right, his statutory right to disseminate a political book free from FEC conditions and regulations, we have effectively asserted regulatory jurisdiction over a book publisher. Exactly. They changed the First Amendment right into a government-granted privilege with restrictions. Now, understand the background of this. They wanted the FEC to affirm that the book and its publisher were exempt from the kind of federal regulations, what's called the media exemption. And what that does is that allows us in the media to interview a candidate and to talk about different things in editorials and television channels, other outlets, say whatever we want to about political figures without having to worry about campaign finance regulations. That is very, very important. That is going to have really major repercussions if they are able to shut that down. And so it's really sad to see that the Republicans would turn this fundamental right into a privilege by the FEC, go cowering before them because, of course, they're afraid of their power. And, of course, because the Congress has abdicated its authority to write the laws of this country to these bureaucracies like the FEC, like the IRS, like the BLM, you name it, the EPA. They write their own laws, not our elected representatives. We now have legislation without representation, and even our elected representatives cower before these bureaucracies. And so did this chairman, who basically had a problem with this, and yet he voted along with everybody else. The election committee, the FEC, approved this regulation by 6-0. That means that the guy who's criticizing it voted for it. Do you understand? He voted for it. Listen to this. What they said, they ruled that while he can have his campaign and his PAC can buy books and give them out, the promotion on his website has to be limited to just 2 sentences. Just 2 sentences. Of course, they didn't put those kind of limitations on Hillary Clinton or on her book. And the 2 sentences is totally arbitrary. That's a story here on Communities Digital News, had those quotes from Paul Ryan and from the commissioner. This is how democracy dies, when we have spineless leaders doing this type of thing. It's why you have to work locally, why you can't count on these people to stand up for your freedoms. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. It took me 20 years of searching the globe to find the deposit of the highest purity iodine available. The new Survival Shield X2 is mined from 7,000 to 10,000 feet below the earth in pristine, environmentally clean conditions. The iodine crystals we use are extracted from an ancient 300 million plus year old deposit deep in the earth. It's the strongest nascent iodine on the market today. It delivers 650 micrograms per drop. Experience the new formula. Experience the ancient purity. Shield your family. Survival Shield X2, available now at InfoWarsLife.com.
X2 from InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.